Welcome everyone to the official kickoff of the partnership between nonprofit research organization Ocearch and the luxury Swiss watchmaker Ulysse Nardin. My name is Lisa Crawford. I'm a PhD student at Stony Brook University, and Ocearch has been enabling my research as I advance towards my degree. We're here in beautiful, scenic Boston. Ocearch is preparing to kick off its first expedition of the season to Massachusetts. I'm joined today by Chris Fisher and François-Xavier Hautier. We'll be discussing the importance of this great partnership between Ocearch and Ulysse Nardin. So Chris, tell us a little bit about Ocearch and how it came to be.
So Ocearch is a collaboration that really brought world-class watermen together with world-class scientists to answer these bigger questions in the ocean. These kind of questions that are fundamental to our grandchildren being able to eat food, being able to see an ocean full of fish, and to make sure the planet works. I think a lot of people don't understand the ocean is 70% of the planet. If the ocean is not working, we are not surviving on land.
Thank you, Chris. The work you do is truly important and fascinating. FX, can you tell me a little bit about Ulysse Nardin?
Sure, with pleasure. So Ulysse Nardin, you know, is a Swiss watch manufacturer, and we've been always inspired by the sea. In fact, Ulysse Nardin, as you know, we have this idea that the shark is our icon. And with the Caring Group, we are very involved in sustainability projects. So we wanted in the USA to partner with the best in shark science. And naturally, we came to meet with Ocearch, and we are very proud to partner with them, starting with this new expedition.
Chris, why is a corporate sponsorship so important to the model of Ocearch?
Well, I think corporate sponsorships are really important because of the disposition of funding, but you want to have the right partners, right? You want to have people that have shared values. I think when you get people who have that sense of urgency together and they have more of a selfless disposition, like the common good, it's like 1 + 1 = 5. And that's what partnerships like this deliver to the future and also deliver to the now. When you look at UN, when you look at the Caring Group, they just want an abundant ocean for our grandchildren. And what is the most efficient path to get there? So when they help our ship operation, it allows us to give the ship to the scientists. They pay no money, right? Provide them with a crew built up of guys like Captain Brett McBride who can deliver the undeliverable to them in a very safe environment so they can leverage technology and access in a way never before possible. And then you integrate that into the world of connectivity and content and inclusion, and now you can get the whole world on the journey. And that's only because the disposition of our funding, they're not trying to win as a brand and outcompete another brand in the space. They're just trying to move us all toward abundance.
So we are here in the heart of the mothership Ocearch, a very, very specific place in the boat. Chris, can you tell us what's happening here? I remember you told me this is like a pit stop in a Formula One race here.
Yeah, so right now we're sitting in the cradle, which is sitting on the deck of the Ocearch right now, and this has really been what's been transformational for the whole advancement of science at broader scale. What this lift does is, where we're sitting right now, there have been hundreds of white sharks that have been right where we are. This lift will come up 5 feet off the deck and then it crawls over the starboard side of the ship and goes about 8 or 9 feet underwater. The crew, led by Captain Brett, will bring a shark in and center it on here and pick it up. And that is where this pit stop begins that you talk about. It allows the scientists to then scurry across over onto the lift, surround the shark, and we'll do 20 research projects conducted by about 30 scientists. It takes about 15 minutes, and then we lower the shark back in the water, and then the shark swims off and everyone can track it in real time on the Ocearch.
This is very disruptive. On one hand, you have kind of patented this concept in order to work on a living animal without harming the animal. You have young scientists for the first time able to work on a shark.
It was very interesting to develop something that you have the only capacity to do in the world, which in the old way of thinking, you would think, oh, we're the only ones in the world who can do this. We need to monetize this for ourselves, right? But what we did was we leveraged the capacity here of the only place in the world to shock the old approach to science force collaboration to achieve more sooner. So we created a unique capacity and leveraged that by giving it away. And what this does is overcomes this fundamental problem we have, which is data deficit in time.
It's fascinating. I understand, Lisa, that without Ocearch, you would have not been able to work on your PhD, your dissertation, right?
Yeah, it's been absolutely vital, the data collection and the access to the animals. My dissertation is 2/3 Ocearch related work. Without having my hands on these white sharks, I would only have 1/3 of a dissertation, and that's just not enough. So being here, having the privilege to be here with the white sharks, collect my samples in person, and then have other scientists collecting for me when I can't be here, has made my dissertation what it is and allowed me to be successful as an academic and a student.
See, these are the kind of stories that impact me the most.
The leadership of tomorrow.
I mean, that it makes me emotional. You know, imagine how many other young people can say that. These are our scientists of the future. Ocearch is helping create the next generation of people that are going to look after the future of the ocean in a way that wasn't possible before. And you just can't put a price tag on that.
So when we bring our samples in off the lift, this is our wet lab space. So every sample we take comes back here, and it's very, very important that we do this immediately, the second we step off the lift, because a lot of these samples are time sensitive. Either they need to be frozen or preserved immediately to protect the integrity of the DNA or whatever we're trying to find, or there's another sample we need to extract from it that must be taken immediately. And so one of the things that people are probably familiar with is blood. We do draw blood from every single white shark in order to assess stress levels, nutrition, DNA and genetics, a whole gamut of projects.
The same way you are like a lot of people with the shark on the platform, you will be like a few, like rushing, working on your...
Exactly. So the crew will go back out and reset all the fishing gear. We're still fishing. And all the scientists will come in here and will be lined up down the counter processing the samples.
So Ocearch is known for shark tagging.
Right.
Can you tell me a little bit more about what type of tags you use?
So these are the tags we use here, and this is what people are probably familiar with at home. This is the spot tag that's mounted on the shark's fin like that.
Okay.
And so this is what pings onto the Ocearch tracker that people can follow along at home. And every single shark that leaves the lift gets one of these. And so what happens is when the sharks surface, they stick their dorsal fin out of the water. There are these electrodes here on the top and the bottom. When they break contact with the water, this starts pinging satellites.
Signal.
Yep,
Okay.
telling exactly where in the world the shark is. We're in the wheelhouse of the MV Ocearch, a place near and dear to the DNA of the Ulysse Nardin brand. Chris, many people hear about sharks in the media due to unfortunate attacks on swimmers or surfers. What is Ocearch doing to educate people about this, and what can we do?
Well, there's a few things we're doing to help people have more information to make good usage decisions, which I think is the core of the question. Number one is open sourcing all of our tracking in real time. Get an understanding of the seasonal movements.
Sure.
Because it's just as important to know where they are not as where they are, right? Especially if you're going to the beach with your family. You know, the other thing people should do when they go down to the ocean is just look at the water. You know, if there's a bunch of birds crashing on bait and there's game fish rolling and seals feeding, there's going to be sharks on that. So you don't want to swim out into the middle of the food chain, right? That doesn't pass the common sense test. So when you see that, if you take a look, just go find a quieter section of water. go find a place where the life is not. So that can take a very, very, very unlikely event and make it even less likely so.
Hi, Captain.
Hey.
So we'll talk about navigation.
Yeah, I'm doing some homework. You want me to show you where we're going?
Yes, please. Pleasure.
We're going to be bringing the boat around from Boston, around Cape Cod, and sliding down here outside of Chatham and Monomoy Island. We're probably going to come into this Pollock Rip channel and come around. I think I'm going to stick the mothership right around in this little trough right there.
You think that we stay around, or maybe if the weather or the fishing change, we may go up north?
Yeah, to be honest with you, I was hoping for a little longer weather window. What I just looked at a few minutes ago, it started to change. So it looks like we might end up getting a couple days out of it, and then we're just gonna have to take a look and see what the new forecast shows.
Excited to go.
It's always an adventure. You just got to do it minute by minute.
We need dozens of ships like this around the world. That is how we're going to overcome the data deficit and time problem.
When you have the right model, you can scale it.
It's scalable.
And I can tell you, Lisa, we need you to be successful. It's a matter of life and health for us all.
I think that's one thing, we talk around it a lot and we say different things, but really what's going on here is not a shark program, it's a human health program. It is ocean health, which means human health. And, I didn't grow up a shark guy, but I am an abundance guy. I want to be proud of the planet we leave our kids. And that's why I got so focused on building this enterprise in a new way to try to become a servant to science and a servant to the future. Thank you for paying for it.
Welcome. I think for Ulysse Nardin, we also have the same mission. And we really believe in what you're doing.